my pleasure to welcome you to our 50th anniversary celebration. Folks, I'm going to tell you my name, and let's see how many hear it. My name's Eve Brooks, and I am the board chair for the Community Service Board, and we are now celebrating our 50th year. I have to tell you, it is absolutely an honor to be a chair of an organization so vital, so alive. So, as you know, the board's made up of 3 people from each of the 5 counties. They're appointed by the Board of Supervisors. So actually, we're official. Today, we're going to celebrate, and we are celebrating, 50 years of giving and caring and building healthier, fulfilled lives. The results of our service are immeasurable. Today we celebrate those who we serve, the thousands of seniors, children, families, folks of all ages who benefit from one or more of our 80 programs. 80. And we celebrate, too, our dedicated staff. Yay! We are here to honor all of you, all 400 very committed, very caring people. Our staff can be found in 5 counties. They can be found driving vans, making meals for seniors, overseeing senior centers, and providing behavioral health care. You can find them visiting homes, in group homes, in the jails, and in mental health centers. They reach over 10,000 people every year. Today we celebrate that we weathered the pandemic, and we came out actually stronger and more innovative. In these difficult years, our staff hung in, working virtually when necessary, working full-time, whether in their homes or out with clients, to make sure that vulnerable people had the help they need in these most tough times. And at the core of the team is Jim LaGraff. Yay! And his extraordinary senior management team. With their steady hands, they made rapid and caring adjustments right through the time of the pandemic. Every day was a new challenge, and they met them beautifully. Despite the trials and losses of the pandemic years, in retrospect, adversity is also a good teacher. We learned flexibility and adaptability. And basically, the best emblematic example of what happened to our organization is that the C Center evolved, the C Recovery Center. It broke the mold to build community-based peer supports in an open setting. It hosted over 10,000 visits in just its first year of operation, helping many to overcome stigma and take advantage of care. We celebrate our many partners in each county: social service departments, schools, doctors, hospitals, private providers, and not-for-profit agencies. Your collaboration and service enables all of us to go that much further, to have that much greater impact. You are too numerous to mention in my few minutes, but your engagement and support is critical. And I celebrate and I toast and I thank our very engaged board of directors, now fully immersed in strategic planning in partnership with the staff. I ask, if you're on the board, if you would at least wave, stand up and wave so people around you can see you. Great, 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 great. And I hope people will then look for you and ask some questions. This is the most involved and excited board that I've ever been on. We're analyzing budgets, reviewing programs, asking tough questions, and working closely with our exceptional executive director and staff. Finally, we're here to celebrate each of you who have served on the board or who have been staff in the past. You gave of your time and service. You built the foundation and brought us to this day. Clearly, the truism, "It takes a village," applies. Looking ahead, our work is cut out. We will rebuild services in all 5 counties and make sure that they're accessible to all. RRCS hung together through the pandemic. It emerged with a culture shift, vibrant, visionary, and with a sense of purpose and rededication. Again, we celebrate 50 years together and look forward to years of progress ahead. Thank you.
Creator God, we are thankful for this day you've given us, for the blessings and the opportunities. We celebrate this occasion as we reflect on 50 years of service to our communities, people that were cared for, loved, changed, helped, people who have experienced dignity and support through the work of RRCS. We thank you for the staff, their commitment day after day to take care of the least of these. We thank you for board members and the time and the service they have given to our communities. And we pray for continued strength for each day as it comes. May we be challenged to give our best always, assured of your presence with us. And so we ask your blessing on our time together tonight. Amen.
So, I have notes, so I apologize so I can remember what I'm supposed to say while I'm up here today. I do want to thank Eve Brooks, our board chair, Pastor Dan, for his words. And I'm just so glad that everyone has chosen to join us tonight to celebrate 50 years of Rappahannock-Rapidan community service to our community. I do need to make a quick apology for the wind this evening. You can plan for many things. Weather is really something we can't plan for, although it did turn out beautiful. It's not raining, it's not too cold, it's not too hot, so I think it is a perfect night. But I do feel badly for the team that did spend a lot of time working. We had the most beautiful centerpieces, and we were putting them out, they were blowing all over. So I do want to recognize Tammy and Taisha and Taylor and Veronica for all their work putting all that together, and we will make sure we get those out to everybody later. For those who don't know me, I am Jim LaGraff. I am the Executive Director of Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services. This is a position I have been honored to serve in for the last 4.5 years. Now that I have been here for a little while, I feel a little more comfortable in my role, and I do have to make a couple confessions about things that happened when I first got here. When I first got here, I honestly, Who really knew Culpeper only had one P? I had no idea. The only orange I was familiar with was the name of my college's sports team. Go Syracuse, and I'm very sorry to any of the UVA football fans who lost last week, but we are 4-0. I did think Madison was just the fourth president. As for Rappahannock, honestly, I'm not sure I knew anything about Rappahannock. I might have known it was a river, but I doubt it. I did learn one thing very early on, though, and that is you have to be very careful when you are learning how to say Fauquier County. So regardless of how little I might have known when I first got here, I can honestly say I have been amazed by this organization, and I have been amazed by this community. So tonight, as we look back and we celebrate 50 years, who could have envisioned that when our 5 counties created this agency, an organization that at that time was unique to Virginia, a combined community service board and area agency on aging. I keep saying it is still the only organization in the United States that fulfills those 2 roles. I honestly don't know if that's true or not, but no one has corrected me, so I'm going to continue to say it. That the pebble that those 5 counties threw into the pond, the ripples that pebble make have grown into the waves, and look at what we're seeing here tonight. At our inception, the responsibilities and the services we provided were actually very small. We were responsible for providing assessments for individuals in our community who are in crisis. We were the gatekeeper to publicly funded behavioral health services, and we did have to provide some modest supports to area seniors. And if we think about it back then, 50 years ago, and what was in our community, when people came to us in those original times, and they needed additional supports, there really wasn't much there for them to go to and for us to refer people to. And so we really extended and we became the service provider. If there was a need to be met where a person needed to see a clinician, we created behavioral health clinics. If there was a person with an intellectual and developmental disability who needed a home, we created housing options for those individuals. If a person needed transportation to get to a service that was being provided, we became the transportation provider. So the path of that growth of RRCS during this time can only be summarized as we are an organization that continues to step up to meet the needs of our community. And as we think about that pebble and those ripples that were created 50 years ago, and seeing what we have grown to, it is very important to understand that each of those people that we have supported, they create their own ripples. The effects and impact of this organization becomes extraordinary. We are grown to an organization that employs approximately 400 people. We support over 10,000 of our community members every year. We have a budget of over 35 million people and provide over 80 different service offerings to our community. Just think about that impact. Okay. I am not going to talk individually about the supports we provide, but I do hope everybody will take a minute. We're going to be out here, but because of the wind, everybody is back into the barn. But please, if you're here tonight, take a minute, stop to the tables, see the people and talk to people and learn more about what we do as an organization. And while tonight is a celebration of the past 50 years, I want everyone to know this is not an organization that looks backwards. We are continually looking forward. In the coming weeks, we will be adopting a new strategic plan for the organization. We have surveyed our community members, we have talked and interviewed our stakeholders, really to understand what you need from us going forward. Our plan will focus on increasing access to our services. We have heard it is too difficult to get into our programs. We are working to fix that. Our plan will focus on increasing awareness of everything that we do. So if a community member needs help or support, they know we are an option for them out there. We will continue to increase our capacity to responding to the changing needs of our community. We will continue to incorporate best practices and service excellence to ensure the members of our community receive the best possible care and support. We will demonstrate leadership in transforming the service system so that the service system is efficient and able to meet the needs of the people who need our help. We will continue to be exceptional stewards of the resources that are given to us by our community. And we will continue our commitment to the ideals of diversity, equity, and inclusion for the people we support and for those individuals who look to work for us. Our plan will be our roadmap going forward to ensure we continue to grow and to evolve and be the agency you need most from us. Tonight, I would be remiss if I did not take the opportunity to thank our board of directors for their leadership and guidance. I truly appreciate their passion for the work of this organization and for their desire to be the best it can possibly be. Please join me in thanking our board. I want to thank our County Board of Supervisors for their continued support as well. 3 years ago, I went to our counties and asked for increased support so that we can continue to fully support our senior centers, our transportation, and to ease the health insurance costs for our employees. They all supported us. This past year, with increased inflation and difficulty in recruiting staff, they again fully supported us in ensuring that we can continue to provide services and a living wage for all of our employees. Again, please join me in thanking our county boards of supervisors. Lastly, I want to acknowledge the hardworking staff of this organization. The past 2.5 years during the pandemic, we have seen the needs of the services of this organization grow dramatically. As many organizations closed or reduced what they do, we never did. Our staff continued to show up every day to continue to ensure people relying on us received the support they needed. Not only did our staff show up, they excelled. I cannot convey the pride I have for the work and what they have accomplished during this time. Please join me in thanking our staff. Lastly, while we have talked tonight about who we are and what we do, the real story of this organization is upon the impact we have on the people we serve. You will hear the words directly from individuals and families who have experienced the work of this program. Please join me now in welcoming Taisha Chavez, the Director of our Children's Services, who will share our first story of impact.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. I have our first testimonial from Miss Angela Dillard. Coda May just turned 3 in May. These last 3 years have been such an incredible journey with her at the Rappahannock-Rapidan's Infant and Toddler Connection. I brought Coda May home from the hospital as a newborn, diagnosed with neonatal abstinence syndrome due to her biological mother's use of heroin and fentanyl during pregnancy. I was worried about Coda May's development. I was introduced to the Infant and Toddler Connection by the Department of Social Services. I was connected with Bridget Ramsey, a service coordinator who made the whole experience pleasant and reassuring. I knew then that Coda was in the best possible care. The evaluation day came. There were so many therapists in the room assessing my little one. Everyone demonstrated their concerns with so much compassion that day. Next came months of calls and texts, keeping tabs on CODA's developmental progress. Whenever I had a question or a doubt, Bridget, my service coordinator, always addressed it. When CODA reached 16 months and still not close to walking, she was evaluated for physical therapy. Kristen Sanders soon became CODA's physical therapist, and right away, the bond between them was amazing, which was something very unusual for CODA. She started to make progress. She was not only walking, she was climbing on things, going up the stairs, and trying to run. So many doors of development were opening for her. As CODA continued the infant and toddler connection, speech and sensory concerns arose. CODA was eating shiny things off the floor, chewing on cords, etc. It was then Colette Reynolds, a speech therapist, would begin working with CODA. Colette provided many different outlets and sensory toys. Our family went from thinking CODA had pica disorder to CODA no longer eating and chewing on odd things. Jennifer Rockefeller, an occupational therapist, was then brought in to support CODA. CODA learned how to hold and use a utensil to eat, as well as color and draw. Through their work, Ms. Rockefeller would see, and we would see, such a difference in CODA's development. Change came from CODA and our family when we decided to move. When Bridget found out CODA was leaving the state, she reached out to the local early intervention office to share all of CODA May's information for a smooth transition. Within a couple of weeks of moving into our new home, CODA May was being evaluated by BabyNet. Her services with them began 6 weeks later. Our family has gone from thinking we have a child with autism that would possibly not be able to communicate verbally to having her in a school program that the teachers think she may no longer need because of her great progress. I cannot begin to express how thankful I am to the infant and toddler connection. It has made such a positive impact on CODA May and our family. Miss Angela Dillard, Gigi of Cody May Reynolds.
Hello, everybody. Woo, this is loud. So, my name is Anna, and I'm here today because of my beautiful daughter. And I will get emotional, so we'll just tell you all that right up front. We started our journey with ITC back in February of 2018. And our little girl, just maybe a month shy of 1 month, she was not developing at all. I'm sorry. Our doctor has told us that she probably will have Rett syndrome, and that we probably everything that she has gained, she'll probably lose. And so we were referred to ITC right away to see if we can get her working with physical therapy, maybe speech therapist, all the 9 yards. Of course, our whole life went crashing down, and it was just overwhelming. But I want to say that the first day I met with Miss Bridget, I cannot get over how easy she made it. She explained everything. She made us, it was the easiest process I have ever been in doing anything. I knew about consent. I knew what we were able to do or not do. I knew about the assessments. I knew about everything that was on the table and what they were offering us. So my daughter went through a lot of testing for Rett syndrome. And while we were going through the testing, which was quite a long process, we started her on speech therapy. We started her on physical therapy with Miss Sarah and Miss Kristen. And it was wonderful. They came to our house, they engaged, they showed us what we could use inside the house to help Ellie, my daughter, getting her to move and using everything around the house that I had. I didn't have to buy anything special. It's just everything that was in the house we were able to use and make work. And they gave us a lot of homework. The homework was exhausting, but it was well worth it because today she is jumping, she's running, she is progressing. She was so developmental. Yeah. So I want to say thank you so much for these services. It meant the world to me and my husband. And in the time where we were really down, this support system was really, really great to have. So thank you so much.
Next, I would like to bring up Lorraine Sheffield. Lorraine is our Director of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. So please welcome Lorraine.
First of all, I want to say welcome to each and every one of you. And as Taisha said, I am the Divisional Director of IDDD Services. And it's dear to my heart. This gentleman that's standing next to me, I remember when he first entered the Bridges program. Very handsome and statuesque, very intelligent, very outspoken at times. And he actually told me what he wanted to do. So I want to introduce you all to Joshua Fry. I want to present to some and introduce to others Mr. Joshua Fry. And he's here to tell you about himself. You got it? Take that off.
That's weird.
All right.
Oh, yeah. My name is Joshua. I work for Graves Mountain Lodge. My job duties are sweeping, mopping, and cleaning dishes. My plans are getting my driver's license and selling my art. So one day I will be able to build a savings. I also attend the Bridges Day Support Program offered through the Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Service Program 3 days weekly. I really enjoy going to day support. Okay, 3 days each week where I get to participate in a variety of in-house and community activities. Thank you all for coming to support tonight's 50th anniversary gala. Have a nice day.
Now, I want to tell you something about Joshua right quick. Joshua done changed that speech around a couple times, okay? Because he wanted it to be perfect for you. But Joshua is an artist. And I want to show you some of his digital artwork. This is Joshua right here. This, I gotta hide this behind me. I gotta hide this behind me first. This is the program manager for the Bridges program, Arlene DiDorio. As you notice, she took a twirl. And this is one of our employees who passed away that was dear to us. So stop past Joshua's table and just say hello to him. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Corey. I'm the Director of Peer Recovery Services with the CSB. For those, this is my service dog. I'm living in recovery. A little bit closer. That better? All right. I'm living in recovery, and it was peer support from a specialist down in North Carolina that saved my life. So I know it can be really impactful. And before I read the testimonial, I want to give my heartfelt thanks to Ms. Ryan Banks and Jim LaGraff for allowing me to set up this program where we could have the most impact possible. We received this letter late last year from Megan Edwards. She wanted to let us know how she felt as she was leaving services. I want to let everyone know officially that I will be leaving the area permanently and relocating to my family's home in Florida to live alongside my mom to help raise and be in my children's lives full-time in the very near future. My moving date is in December. I'm moving down to a stable home and a new job that I will start on December 26th. I've been off of probation since April of this year, and I've been out of jail and recovery or treatment services for almost 2 years without any problems. January 15th is my official 2 years since being released. I want to thank everyone at the CSB who has helped me make this possible from start to finish. Thank you, Corey, for beginning the steps and leading me to Danny for voluntary services. I wasn't forced to see him or even pressured into his service, but it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. Danny has been my rock. He has always answered the phone when I had questions, needed advice, or just needed a friend. He has gone above and beyond what the normal peer counsel or any other state service has for me. I consider Danny a friend and truly a blessing. He's never judged me, and he's always directed me to the right path and the next step. I was able to obtain my driver's license, tags for my vehicle, my first credit card, and a new bank account from his direction and support. He helped me to visit my kids and set up this next chapter in my life by helping with me getting to the airport when I had no other options. He's answered the phone when I've been overtaken by anxiety just to listen to me and give me advice. He has always been patient and professional, which you don't find often these days. I will be staying in contact with him as much as possible, even after moving, but I wanted to let everyone know that I was finally moving forward with being reunited with my family and getting a chance to be a mother to my children again. And honestly, I don't know if I could have ever gotten this far without the help from Danny. I'm extremely grateful for my experience with peer-to-peer experiences and services, and I hope you guys are able to get more attention from the community because everyone needs a Danny in tough times. Thank you so much for everything, and I wish everyone the best in the future. And then her final remarks were clean going on 3 years. I was also told this evening that not only is she doing well down there, she's gotten her own place, she's gotten full legal rights back to her children, and is doing fantastic.
I'm going to introduce Shirley Fleshman, the Senior Center Manager of our Madison County Senior Program.
You know, we have a saying in the aging department, old age ain't no place for sissies, and we know it. So we do our very best to support our seniors as much as we can. Our senior centers are the hub for each county. It doesn't matter what the seniors need. I know I got a call late one night. The lady said, there's no heat in my house. I'm about to freeze. It was down, temperature really low. Had to send someone over there. She had turned her thermostat off. So it's not always an emergency, but to that person, it seems like it is. So from our transit drivers to all of the programs we offer for the elderly, it's really, really important. And Jerry Bowers was supposed to come with me tonight with her testimony as to how much the senior center meant to her and means to her, but she has the flu. So I'm going to read the letter that she had written and was going to do herself. She said, "Hi, my name is Jerry. Some of the Madison Senior Center people fondly call me Trouble, which I own. I'm proud of it. I suffer from depression, which can lead to suicide. I have suffered a lot. I lost my husband of 34 years to cancer. He was my everything. He was my rock, my soulmate, the one who helped keep me together. When he died, I really lost it. When the funeral was over, everyone went home. I was alone. What now, I thought. I went to a really dark place. I prayed and prayed that God would take me too. I thought, I can't stay here. What now, I thought. I just can't stay here. I went everywhere for help. Grief management, to ministers, to family, and not even the love of my sweet nephews or my family's helped. One day I was at a social gathering, and that's where I met Shirley. She knew nothing about me, but she ended up, in our short conversation, she said, "You need to come to the Madison Senior Center. We can teach you how to have fun." My first thought was, oh yeah, like you think you're going to help me. I was driving to a doctor's appointment, and I came along a grove of trees, and I thought to myself, how many of those trees can I wipe out before I die? I gained my composure, and after that doctor's appointment, in desperation, I went to the Madison Senior Center. And I have never looked back. I now have friends that I can call my family. We sing, we dance, we laugh, we listen to music, we do crafts, have some great speakers and good conversation. I don't look back, and I'm moving forward. And the one thing that I did realize, because when Alan Rasmussen has done our zero suicide educations that we're doing, you know, you can think about committing suicide, but when you have a plan, you're really well on the way to doing something desperate. And Jerry had a plan. And so during the COVID time when we were all locked down, we actually took turns calling her every other day, and we would say, "We'll come visit you. Whatever do you need?" My seniors formed this thing where they called each other, because loneliness and isolation is very, very difficult to deal with. So our senior centers are great, our aging program's great. Tell everybody to come on out to Madison, because old age ain't no place for sissies, that's for sure.
I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. I truly appreciate the support of this community. I know it emboldens and a heartfelt thanks from all the staff to see all the support for everything that they do in this room. So as you leave tonight, in the back of this pavilion, you see our Zero Suicide banner. On that table, underneath that banner, are some rocks that have been painted. We ask, if you want, to please take a rock with you, leave it somewhere. Those rocks have been painted during our Spirit Week by staff to let the members of our community know that if they are ever hurting, someone out there cares and they can get help. And leave it somewhere, and maybe someone will find it and it will remind them of that. So please go tonight, drive careful, everybody, and again, I thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you.